Well, then you sue them. Depending on how bad the damages are.
I'd handle it and then take them to court and hand them the bill.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
That's how all big investors
That's
think.
the big sales thing
They
right
go,
now.
you gotta change your mindset. And they basically make people feel like if they buy the lower one, their mindset isn't changed and they won't be those types of people who can invest their money. Most people don't even get in. They then hand
It's
select.
like Navy SEAL training almost.
And welcome to episode 3 of the Groff Show. On today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about a recent book we were reading in what we call the Bitrate Book Club. And then we're also going to go and dive into some insights on how it is to run a business in 2025.
Yeah.
Did y'all know that I named our book club?
Yeah.
What's it named?
The Bitrate Monthly Book Club.
I don't like book club. It's so old-fashioned.
Well, I only did it because the new book in the book club, the guy in the book,
He calls it a book club. Yeah.
and I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's what it is. It's a book club.
Oh, boy.
Book clubs are so old.
What are we all going to do? Sit around and discuss a book?
Oh, no, the book
Yeah,
of the
that's
month
right.
book club.
I feel like Emmett in the Anchor for show. He was in the book club, and he was always pointing out the stupid parts in the book and never talking about the key points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last month's book was Way of the Wolf. Did you
Yeah.
finish?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't finish.
Yeah.
Almost.
How much do you have to go yet?
Like 2.5, 3 hours on 1.6 speed.
You should be able to get through that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, now.
So
What
how
do you mean now? You mean you built up to 1.6?
Yeah.
Oh.
I started at 1.
I started at 1 for most of the entire time, and somehow I finished first.
Well, yeah. You were also half asleep some of the times in the living room.
No,
when
I
I'd come up, your eyes would be closed.
No, I read.
Harrison,
I
we're
read.
going to talk about the book we read, The Way of the Wolf.
I re-listened to those sections.
And are you even going to be able to weigh in on anything?
Yeah, no, I re-listened to those sections. And I fell asleep one.
He literally the other morning, his eyes were closed. I said, Harrison, he went, what? I was like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm listening to the book. I was like, yep, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think I was.
Did you
doing-
start the new one? 'Cause
Not
we're
yet.
starting now Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. That's the book for January.
I'll probably start it today, maybe tomorrow or Monday.
I have an hour and 50 minutes left.
How long is it? How long is it?
4 or 5 hours.
Oh, it's a short book.
Well, it's just the same as The Way of the Wolf.
The Way of the Wolf
No,
is
Way
like
of
7.
the Wolf was like 7.
Oh, let's see.
Is that at 1x speed?
Oh, no,
or?
it's 8 hours and 6 minutes.
Oh, this is way
Okay,
longer.
that makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, in The Way of the Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
did you know the guy's story?
Nope.
His story.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's talked about it a little bit in the book.
Like how he came about it.
Uh-huh. There's a movie called The Wolf of Wall Street, and it was made from Jordan Belfort.
Like he directed
Yeah.
it, or it was based off
No, it
of
was
him?
based off of his story.
Oh.
Because he was a sales guy in Wall Street, and then he started his own sales company.
Yeah.
And he was so good at teaching sales, he could pull any random kid off the street, and within just a few weeks or months or however long it was,
Mm-hmm.
he would have them becoming a top earner salesman, making like hundreds of
Yeah, I
thousands of
know.
dollars.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It's I wonder if big companies train their salespeople like that.
Using his system.
Yeah, or like systems like
'Cause
that.
he has what's called the straight line system.
Yeah.
Which I don't feel like you don't see very often.
Yeah, it was a funny thing in the book. He came walking into one of his sales guys' offices,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy was talking about duck hunting.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
And after the guy was done, he talked to the prospect for like 15 minutes straight about duck hunting.
Yeah.
And Jordan Belfort knew, this guy don't know anything about duck hunting. He don't even like duck hunting. Why is he talking about duck hunting? And he talked to the guy afterward. He had him come to his office.
Yeah.
And he goes, so what was that bullshit in there you were talking about? And he goes, oh, I was trying to build rapport with the customer.
Yeah.
Rapport is just
Yeah.
like when you build up a relationship with them. And this is how the phone call went. He was like, said, "Hey, how are you? Do you have a moment to talk?" And the guy goes, "Well, I'm like duck hunting right now." And then the guy goes, "Oh, duck hunting. I love duck hunting." And then he goes, if the guy would have been like, "Oh, I'm at a hockey game," he'd have been, "Oh, hockey. I love
Yeah,
hockey."
yeah.
No way.
It was weird. Yeah, then after that, he got everybody into a meeting and then told everybody that story of how the guy was trying to get the guy to buy his thing by duck hunting, by liking that. And he basically made fun of the guy to everybody else in the sales place.
He shamed him
Yeah.
publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny when he was in a room teaching people how to do sales. Everyone was saying that they have these thousands of excuses why sales isn't working in their companies. So he's like, "We'll just list them off. If there's 1,000 reasons, we'll just get through them today." So he pulled out his whiteboard. People started listing off things. He'd write them on the whiteboard. He's like, good, keep going. And they'd list off more things. And at the end of everything, there was only like 14 problems that they had. And they were like really like easy to fix problems.
Yeah,
Like the person said,
8.
"I'll call you back" or something.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was smoking cigars last night, and I met a guy in the cigar lounge, and he was talking about sales, and then he was saying, like, he used to teach like how to sell your photography services, and he did like a local class, and like 10 people showed up, and then one person came up to him after and goes, "You know, I'm just not really good at sales. Like, I'm good at photography." He goes, "Well, I'm not really good at sales." And then the guy goes, he said then to me, he goes, "Everybody's good at sales. A wife will try to sell her husband to go on a vacation. The kid will try to sell her parents on getting more candy." And then I said this, and the guy really liked it. I said, "Yeah, even that person was selling to you on how they're not good at sales." And the guy split out laughing. And I was like, "Yo, that's true."
Yep.
Wait, they were selling just the wrong way.
Yeah, they were selling the wrong product.
Hey.
Sales is just you convincing somebody of something. That's all it is.
You just have to figure out how to talk to the person.
And in the book Way of the Wolf, Jordan says it's just about certainty level.
Yeah.
Certainty in you, certainty in your company, and certainty in your product. If they have a 10 out of 10 certainty on you, your company, and your product,
They're buying it.
then they'll buy, no question.
Yeah.
If they don't buy, it's because they don't have high enough certainty in one or all of those areas.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like,
And then he also said, like, people have different levels of certainty. Like he said, for example, Jordan Belfort said about himself, he has like a lower level of certainty. Like if you get him to like a 7 out of 10, that'll be like enough for him to buy.
yeah.
Wow.
But then he said his dad, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is like extremely like, he's like a critic, and he has to get like at a 10 out of 10 on every single one in order to buy.
Wow.
I know if one thing's off, he'll be like, "I'm being scammed here," and he'll run away.
Another thing about sales is all you have to do is you just have to justify why the person just has to have a reason why this is benefiting them. So I worked at a fireworks stand for a little while, a few weeks, and customers would come in saying that they didn't want to spend too much money. But my goal at the stand was to sell our most expensive, all our inventory for our most expensive package of fireworks, which was like $500 a package. And the fireworks stand didn't issue out too many of these packages because stands just didn't sell them because of the big price
They only
tag.
gave you like 3, right?
They gave us more than normal.
Oh.
3, yeah. Most stands were only getting like 1 or 2. But I took the strategy a different way. When people would come in and say they don't want to buy much, and they'd go around and start picking stuff out, I would walk up to them and go, "You know, you have a few $100 in just your little basket right now. What you could do," and they were at like $300 maybe in their basket. I was like, "What you could do, you save a lot more money and buy our big package over here, which was called the Big Bang, for $500." I go, "It's way bigger than the little basket you're carrying around right now." They go, "There's a lot more of different assortments. You'll have like your own party. You can invite people over, have a barbecue." We sold out all 3 of our big bangs in like the first like week and a half. Our fireworks stand manager came down and he's like, "Where's all your big bangs?" We're like, "We sold them already." And he was super surprised.
Yeah.
We ended up being like this top like 3rd best fireworks stand producing in Colorado that year
Yeah.
in sales.
Man.
Yeah, I know.
And then we some of our other people that we had selling, we kind of like went over how to do sales like that, and like we had most of our big fireworks sold, and we had a bunch of like the little knickknacks were gone, but like your mid fireworks, they were all we had like boxes of those, but our big stuff was like gone because we made it make sense to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's everyone thinks like, oh, you have to be good at sales if you're like working a sales job, but even people in retail need to be good at sales, because you'll like walk into a store and you'll be like, you can't find something, you'll be like, hey, do you have this? And they'll be like, oh, no, we don't, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And they just expect you to walk away. They should immediately be like, well, we don't have that one, but we actually have something that's a bit better, and like explain the benefits of it, and then take you to that, and they increase the sales right there.
Well, the reason they don't is because their salaries aren't paying them for that. So
Yeah, I know,
like,
but people don't think a few moves ahead. Like if they
I know.
are making more revenue for the store, the store manager will catch on to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And see that they're bringing in way more revenue. He knows they might get promoted to like some, I don't know what in retail you get promoted to, but higher up.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are like, if my salary isn't paying for it, then I'm not going to work extra for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That happened recently. I was in a store and I asked for some like whiskey glasses, and they didn't have the ones I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And they just said, no, we don't have those.
Yeah.
And they had other glasses in there. They just like let me go and be like, no, sorry, we don't have those.
Yeah.
Oh, so unless you somehow know exactly what they have and you ask for exactly what you want that they have, they're not going to try to sell anything to you.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
That's weird.
Sales is pretty much just about the numbers you put in and getting the person close enough to those 3 certainty levels.
Yeah.
And if they want to go buy. I saw a tweet by a guy recently. Let me see if I can find it.
First of all, is it still called tweets?
I call them tweets.
What are they called now?
Well, I meant Twitter is now X. Are they technically
Well, they're
still
called
tweets?
posts.
Is that what they're called now?
Yeah.
But everybody
seems so
I still
normal
call 'em-
though.
You'll have people out there going, oh, I still call it Twitter. Well, that's kind of dumb because it's not Twitter. I call it X. But everyone still kind of calls
I feel
it
like tweets are still like you're on the fence.
This guy, he helps agencies scale. I went to one of his events one time, and he said the answer to most growth problems is more activity or volume. But it seems so simple, we often look for more complexity, like more complex solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're working bit rate on the side,
Mm-hmm.
and last month in December we didn't hit our target goal for new clients, and it basically just comes down to a volume play. We just got to get in front of more people.
Yeah. We're just not getting enough leads.
Which is why we were going to initiate our cold call campaign last month, but we didn't get that done because it got so busy around the holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been as effective either because people were all
That's the other thing.
sidetracked with the holidays.
Oh,
Everybody was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what's bad about sales.
During the holidays.
Yeah. I always it's like the week of Christmas and I'm like emailing people, booking calls and trying to get them on the phone or whatever. And then they're like, well, we can push this off to the first week of January. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. Like pretty much everybody takes off during Christmas, so it's kind of like hard to sell something during that season.
There was
It was surprising me how many stores were closed New Year's too.
Yeah. There was a client, a prospect for Fitter Media who booked a call about like a week before Christmas. But I was like dead sick and couldn't take the call.
Yeah.
So I had him reschedule. And I suggested we reschedule for like 2 days before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, well, no, let's reschedule for January 2nd. And I was like, okay, fine. and then January 2nd came, and they canceled the meeting.
What? No way.
That's what happens if you put them off.
Yeah. I wouldn't have put them off when I was like dead sick.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, I'm not going to work the 1st. I'm not going to work New Year's Day. I'm not going to work Christmas week.
I wonder
I think
if,
that's weird, though.
yeah.
But it was like January 2nd. It was like a Thursday or a Friday. It was a Friday.
It was a Thursday. 2nd?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, it was a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a weird time to come back to work.
I
'Cause
know.
It feels like a Monday.
That's when I went back to work.
And then it goes,
felt weird.
yeah.
Yeah, and then yesterday was Friday, which I felt like was Tuesday. And today I feel like is Wednesday, but it's Saturday.
I
Yeah.
know, it doesn't feel
It's-
like,
everything's
yeah, it
messed
doesn't
up.
feel like a Saturday.
No.
I wonder, sales companies, like, where they're really selling, where then it gets slow over the holidays, like, even for us, we should treat it like the whole almost month of December as, like, a research time. Because since you're not selling anyways, you can use that whole month then to just research.
Yeah, that's why we kind of adjusted our targets in
Yeah.
December was
Mm-hmm.
less clients than normal, even though we didn't even hit that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we were even going to do, like, more like, what's it called? We were going to go to more business events and stuff, but nobody was hosting stuff over the holidays.
Oh, yeah, there's lots of online events, but even then, it wasn't very much.
Our event would have been going,
Yeah.
but our
Yeah.
first one starts in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next year we'll have a Christmas event.
Yep. There was that one
Christmas.
person who was running events every single day. Christmas Eve, Christmas
Yeah.
Day, the day after Christmas, and then he looked on it and he was just replaying virtual events.
Yeah.
I know.
In his history, he had like a few thousand events.
He had like
Like-
3,000 past events
Yeah.
and like 2,000 events scheduled.
I know. I was like, we hit the jackpot for events here. And then it was
Yeah.
like awful.
And they were free too. I wonder what he was upselling you to.
Usually how they do it is they do a free training, and the free
Yeah.
training isn't even usually isn't even training you on anything. Some people do, but this is a marketing strategy that I hate.
Yeah.
They say sign up for the free training, they get you on the free training, and the whole training is telling you that they'll help you do this. But one, they don't tell you how they'll help you. And two, they don't tell you how to do it yourself. So it's not even actually a training. It's like a presentation.
Yeah.
But it isn't really even like a presentation because their whole goal is just telling you that they'll help you do this and they'll help you do
Yeah.
that. And they stretch it out for like an hour.
You're
And then-
basically voluntarily sitting down and watching an ad.
And then, yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And then what they
Yeah.
do is they hook you into like either a free offer. No, that's the free offer. They hook you into like a low cost offer. People buy that. And then that offer barely gives you anything. It makes you feel like you need the next offer to actually get it. So
Yeah.
then the next offer is an even higher ticket offer. And then that is like a little bit more. And then usually what they'll do is like for the third offer, it'll be, so you can try to do this yourself and everything, but if you really want to do it, we'll help
Yeah.
you. And then you buy either coaching or some done for you service.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I know.
Like Bitrate does free trainings and then to an offer, but each thing is very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Our free trainings are actually teaching
Like-
people stuff.
The thing that's been blown up is our free SEO mini course.
Oh, yeah.
That thing lit on fire.
And it goes from like A to Z how to start doing SEO for
Yep.
your own website.
Yeah.
And literally, if you follow the items in the videos, most people can boost their traffic in just 30 days.
all by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they get upsold to an offer for $500 that basically we do keyword research for them.
Yep.
So that's a little offer to get them into the door, but they also get really valuable stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
like the next offer that they get upsold to is actually paying us to do SEO campaigns for them.
Then we're
But
just
each
doing
step
everything.
is actually solving a problem for you, for
Yeah, I
them.
know.
Meanwhile, other marketers, it's kind of like watch the training. They show you how they'll help you, kind of, but they don't show you how. And then, yeah.
Yeah,
It's so dumb that
it's
some of
awful.
these companies, like, all it is ads.
Yeah, and those marketers, they're just profiting off of people with not much money that have high emotion. So the person's like, oh, I'll buy this and it'll
Hey, it's part of the
change
straight line
everything.
system. Sell off of emotion.
Well, no, that's a thing. You want
I
someone to
know.
buy off of emotion and
Yeah.
justify with logic versus buying off. I think that's how it is.
It is, yeah.
Versus reversed, where they buy from logic.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want them to buy with emotion and then they'll justify it in their head with logic.
Yeah.
That's a good sales tactic and you want to do that. But this other thing kind of like plays off of people.
Yeah, it's like a fake emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a digital marketer in Florida, I think. No, Tennessee. He lives in
Okay.
Nashville. And his whole company got investigated and got fined by the FTC for like $1 million. And they didn't have
Wow.
that to pay the fine. Because they were basically doing those types of free trainings that basically said, we'll help you learn how to make like so much money per month. And then they would play testimonials during the training, the whole training of like people who like made their first 30K a month,
Yeah.
first 50K a month, first 10K a month, but they were using all of their best testimonials and they weren't averaging it out. Most people then buy it. Then they would get, after buying that, they'd get upsold to a bigger program. And the average success rate was really low. Most people weren't making hardly any money.
Yeah.
They went through and hand-picked the best testimonials and used that as what they would do.
Yeah.
That's weird, but also, is that the only reason they were fined?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's kind of stupid.
Well, according to the FTC, if you're making financial claims, it has to be like taken from an average. So they should have took all their
True.
clients, averaged it out, and said they on average make $200 a month.
True.
But then they wouldn't sell their.
side
But
of
then
it.
they wouldn't sell their $10,000 program because people's like, I'm only
Yeah.
making $200 a month. So they advertised the testimonials of somebody who happened to buy it and made 10, 50, or like 30K a month.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, man, I only have to pay 10K and I'll make 30K a month. I can get 10K somewhere. I'll use credit cards. I'll go get a loan. I'll go borrow from family or whatever because I'll just be able to pay them back in the first month. And then they start, and then they don't hardly make any money.
Yeah, now they're freaking out.
Well, also, they should have never went and did that in the first place. You
Yeah.
don't spend money you don't have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One thing I thought that was cool, though, this is back to the book, was how much your tone of voice can change, like, how the conversation goes.
Yeah.
I know, I was like,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah, tone of voice is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, like, this is a basic example, but if you, like, give somebody good news in, like, an angry tone, they're not going to take it as good news.
Yeah.
And if you give someone bad news,
And
you play it and you have tonality that kind of brushes it off as it's, like, no big deal, it's, like, it lessens the hit.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually saw a video on that the other day. The guy did an experiment out on the streets. He walked past random strangers and would just go, hello, real quiet and like no like excitement or anything. And people just kind of like looked at him and walked away. Or sometimes people didn't even make eye contact. And then he changed his tonality to more like, hello. And people looked up at him and go, oh, hello, good morning, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was literally that simple.
Yeah.
That simple.
Now, if you're trying to sell something, you just do that while you're trying to sell it. You change it at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
And now the person's like, oh, yeah, sure.
He was getting people to compliment him on like his shoes or whatever just by how
What?
he changed his tone.
Oh,
Oh,
my
my.
goodness.
But see, that basically just the tonality shift
Yeah.
increased the person's certainty on him as a person
Yeah.
Mhm.
because they had like low certainty and was like, who's this guy? And just kept on walking
Yeah.
when he had the bad tonality. And then when he had the good tonality, their certainty was like increased. Like, oh, this is a friendly dude. He's like a good guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know.
When you get people complimenting you just because you said hello, based off of the tonality, dude.
Well, they think you're saying hello to them really polite because you want them to see your new shoes or your new jacket or something. To be like, oh, nice
Wow.
jacket.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
And that's why when we create when we launch our commission only sales position here soon, we need to make that book like a required reading.
Oh,
Because
we should.
you could give the same scripts to two different people and they not work the same because one's using tonality correctly and the other one isn't.
And they're both using the same scripts.
Yeah.
That is what Jordan found. He had everyone using the same scripts and they weren't being near as successful as he was on the phone. And he was like, "Why? They're all using the same scripts. They're all selling the same products. They're all calling the same type of prospects.
Yeah.
But they're not getting any deals, and he's getting a lot of deals."
Yeah. He even said, "Is it just my personality? Like, am I just better at sales than everybody else?"
Yeah.
Then he realized that wasn't the fact.
It came down to like tonality and keeping the person on the straight line, like focus on the call versus talking about duck hunting for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. You're talking about something so long, you forget what you're trying to sell, and then you're like, never mind, goodbye.
20 minutes later, like, what were we talking about again? Oh, yeah, I called you. I'm a sales guy.
You are? Oh, never mind, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going duck hunting with you.
Yeah.
One thing we have to solve in bitrate, though, is some of the people requesting the website audits are like founders and owners and CEOs of the company. But they themselves don't watch it. They just request it. And then when the video comes in, they send it to like the person in charge of that. They watch it, which is then when we call to follow up on the website audit, their first thing is, well, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, maybe like when we send the audit, we could send like some sort of note saying if you send this out. Like,
Well, we just need to like
I don't
update
know.
the scripts where like if you call them and they say they didn't watch it, they sent it to somebody. More so turn it into like a sales call and transition into like asking them questions.
I think I heard that actually said somewhere.
Yeah.
That's now starting to ring a bell. Yeah, because they didn't actually see it, so you're now actually having to repitch it over.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just like doing this live, but like on the fly, but like
Yeah.
you say, hey, we sent over the free website audit. Wanted to see if you had time to check it out or had any questions. And then the guy's like, well, I didn't watch it. I sent it to my dev guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go, okay, good to hear, or something. Since you requested the free website audit, I assume you're trying to get more traffic to your website. And the guy might say, yeah, we're trying to do that. We're trying to focus more on that in 2025. And then start
And then
asking
you go into
questions
the
from
whole
there.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we just solved it.
Oh, there
We
we
did.
go. We just solved that.
We just got to write scripts for that. You know what's funny about scripts? And he even mentioned this in the book a little bit. And anytime you look up scripts on the internet, you'll like see forums of people talking about it. Scripts are like controversial. Some people are like, oh, you don't want to use scripts. Then you're not being genuine. You're not like a real person. And but the thing is,
You're just using
imagine if you tried to watch a movie that was made with no scripts.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
Like the whole movie wasn't scripted and everyone was just doing things on the fly.
Yeah.
It would be terrible movies. So
Just-
basically all you're doing with scripts is you're just putting in the preparation,
Yeah.
because actually if you think about it, you're doing more good. You're being thoughtful for the person on the other end of the call because you're being very like efficient, getting to the
Yep.
point,
Yeah.
because they're busy. And if it's a cold call, you called them and probably interrupted them from doing something.
Yeah. You're finding a
So
way to.
if you're like that guy
save
where
their
you go on a
time.
15-minute tangent about duck hunting,
Yeah.
you're not
That
even
was
respecting the
very rude.
person's time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went way off
Yeah.
script. If he had a script, he went way
Yeah.
off
He
script.
did have a script.
No. Is that part of the script?
Yeah, his script was.
No, he was trying to build rapport.
Yeah.
So when he asked him like what he does for a living or something, the guy said something about duck hunting.
Yeah, is it
And he
like
goes, "Oh,
say
duck hunting.
hello,
I love
say
duck
who
hunting."
you are?
Yeah.
Is it like on his script, say hello, say who you are, build rapport, then sell?
I don't.
He's like, since
I
you
don't
love
know.
duck hunting, you might also want to buy this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by increasing their certainty levels on the call, that alone is building the rapport. Building rapport doesn't mean
You gotta like.
trying
automatically
trying
what they
to
like.
everything they like, because you're actually being ingenuine. If
Yeah, I know.
that guy liked duck hunting and the sales guy didn't, now he's just lying, saying he likes duck hunting when he probably never duck hunted in his life.
Yeah.
Somebody hears the person on the call and they're like, "I didn't know you liked so many things." It's
Plus,
just
they're
like,
just going to make a fool of themselves eventually, because they're going to
yeah.
start talking about stuff they don't know about.
Yeah.
And then the person on the other end is going to be
True.
like, this guy doesn't know anything.
yeah, I know.
And then that just decreases the certainty for the person, because he's like, if he's acting like he knows this and he's talking about it, he probably doesn't even know what he's selling.
He's just acting
So
like
I'm
he
not
does.
into duck hunting much, so I don't know what duck season is. But yeah, like he mentions a month that he went duck hunting, and it's not even part of duck season. The guy's like, "You were out there poaching?
And he's like,
What's
I
going
just went
on?"
duck hunting last month. And the guy's on the other end thinking, well, it's not even season yet, so I know what type of person you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted to stock his fridge early.
Oh yeah. I wonder if actors, like movie actors, would be good salespeople because they can like act it.
And they know how to adjust their tonality.
So I wonder if they're like really good salespeople.
Well, Bitrate needs to take some acting classes.
Yeah, we'll hire actors.
Oh no.
Imagine like we hire like The Rock to be a cold caller for us. He just calls somebody.
They'll buy just because it's The Rock.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given. They have so much certainty in him that it doesn't
Yeah.
care about the
Yeah,
company. or
like,
the...
oh my
Like,
goodness.
I don't even care about the price. Here's my card.
So in the
Yeah.
in season 2 of Squid Games, and this is heavy spoilers.
Ew.
This is heavy spoilers. So
Ew.
wait, listen. If this is heavy spoilers, so if someone's listening and hasn't watched it, you might not want to listen.
Spoil it.
But
Actually, I don't really care.
there was a guy in the games, and he went bankrupt and was like in debt because he was a YouTuber, a crypto YouTuber,
Yeah.
and he really pushed this new coin that he thought was good, and he even put his own money in it.
Oh
And the whole thing crashed and made him go in debt. Okay, but
Put
then
all your eggs in one basket.
so basically what they did in the Squid Games is they one by one took a few people, put their face up on the screen, and said how much debt they were in and what they used to do. And his was one of the faces. So all the 500 people in that room saw who he was. And then after that was done, 2 people like came up to him, and they were 2 subscribers to his YouTube channel. And he had pushed that coin hard, and they invested all of their money. And then they were in the Squid Games because now they were heavily in debt because they lost all their money too. And you know why they said they bought? They go, you said it was a good coin, so I just went and bought it and put everything in it. They like had so much certainty into the guy just because he was a YouTuber and everything that they just invested everything. They didn't do their research on the coin or anything. So that's something Jordan didn't talk about. I guess if you have so much certainty in one area, it doesn't matter what the certainty is in the other areas.
What sounds like the way those people were acting and thinking, they probably didn't have very much money that they put in anyways.
But that just happened on Squid Games, or that just happened in real life? I mean, it happens all the time, but
Yeah.
Or if you're that stupid to put all your money into something based off of what a YouTuber said.
yeah. Well, the Haktua girl, it's a girl that went viral last year. She started a podcast, and then she just a month or 2 ago launched her own coin.
I heard about this.
Everyone, they had money in it to start. She claims she didn't try to scam people, but that's exactly what it looks like. They had already a whole bunch of coins themselves reserved for them and like other people.
Yeah.
So they already had coins.
Yeah.
And then they launched it, and people all bought into it, pumped the price way up, and when it was at the peak price, then Haktua and her people sold, and she made like $3 million. Her people made a lot of money, and then because they sold so quickly, and also because it's just like a meme coin or whatever you call it, it just plummeted. And there was one guy, he put in $1 million.
Oh.
And then it plummeted, and you know how much he had left?
I don't want
His
to
$1 million was decreased down to $40,000.
What?
and he ain't gonna get it back because the coin isn't gonna rise again.
Yeah.
No, especially now.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's a scam now.
But they had so much, I guess you could call certainty into her that
Yep.
they just bought it and was like, well, yeah, let's do it.
Now they're viral for a whole nother reason.
Yeah.
And it's like the exact same stories in Squid Games.
Oh, man.
That's weird. Squid Games is weird.
Yeah, it's in another language and then they convert it to English. It's weird.
Garbage. Garbage.
Yeah.
There's one of the characters in Squid Games. He's called the front man.
Yeah.
He's basically the guy who runs the games.
Yeah.
And he's in a big black trench coat and a black mask. And there's a Instagram account called frontman.ai. And it's this guy that just dresses up in a big black trench coat
Yeah.
and a big mask. And he basically does videos that are like the 48 Laws of Power or Machiavellian type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like he'll like do a video like never outshine the master.
Yeah.
And then he'll like talk about it or whatever.
Yep.
But he has his whole brand built around it.
That's cool.
Oh, man. Wait, what's he called?
Frontman.ai.
Oh.
So I can pull it up.
Yeah.
AI. Wonder if everyone's going to start naming their stuff AI. Remember a few years
Yeah,
ago,
because
everybody was doing whatever plus.
Oh.
Like every
Hey,
major company out there had a plus
We should
version
do,
of their company.
Bitrate
Listen.
Plus.
Ever noticed how a simple suggestion
No.
can alter your perception? They plant ideas in your mind without you even realizing it. The key to breaking free is awareness. Learn to question everything.
Oh, my.
And that's all he does is videos like that.
Cool.
So it's like 48 Laws of Power type stuff and Machiavellian
Yeah.
type stuff.
Yeah. Wait, that actually looked really cool.
We will not have a bitrate plus.
Yeah.
As long as I work here, we
we'll
will not
have
have a
bitrate
bitrate
plus.
plus.
And then, like, no, then we'll have the Groff Show plus.
No.
We can, like, make a plus for, like, all kinds. And then we'll have a plus for the plus.
No.
No, it would be bitrate plus max.
Oh, yeah, it'd be plus.
And that ain't even me making it up. There's a company who
that's
did
a
that.
real thing. That's a real thing.
And then one company even added a third. It was something plus max extended or something.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I'm not joking. And it was a big company like a Disney
I
or
remember
a,
hearing about it, but
Fox
it was
or
something
something.
weird.
But by the time you
because they were all trying to outdo each other in marketing. One person did plus, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Uh-oh, well, we got to do better, so we're the plus max." And
That's weird. By the time you finish saying the whole thing, you forget why you were saying it. Like the
At that
number
point, you
plus-
just abbreviate it.
yeah. Or just
And then no one's saying your company name anymore anyway.
or why don't they just like add a plus? It'd be plus and then plus plus and then plus plus plus. It'd be way better than plus max extended or whatever they would
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
so that's pretty much the book.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about building a business in 2025,
Can't believe it's
specifically with
2025.
bitrate. Specifically with bitrate.
Yeah.
Like we all do our own things, but bitrate's kind of something that we started last year.
Yeah.
On the marketing side, we basically just need to up our volume. On
Oh,
the sales side,
We're seeing decent numbers come in. We're just not seeing as many
It's 'cause-
conversions as we'd like.
yeah, it's because we're just not, like we said earlier, we're not getting in front of enough people.
well, we're gonna start our cold calling.
Yeah, cold calling.
And we got good numbers when we tested that out a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
really good numbers.
Those were our best numbers by far, but we didn't do
It
that
was
at
like-
scale. So we're gonna start doing that.
Yeah, once we do
It was
that,
like 30%.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was like
it was
a 30%. No, it was higher than that. I think.
no, it
It
was
was
high.
40.
Oh no, it was really high.
Anyway, yeah, like 40%.
Yeah.
So basically,
sounds
for every
more.
cold call, 40% of people were wanting a free website audit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was like high.
That
Because like
was
we were
high.
doing cold email too. That was the bulk of the start because we were all really busy with our own stuff, and that was something that could kind of just sit there and go on autopilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people can get cold email to work. We weren't really getting cold email to work that well. But we were getting cold email to work well because our our response rate was pretty standard. We just wasn't sending out enough.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting, so like on cold email, you get like a 2 to 5 if you're lucky % response rate.
Yeah.
And that's just a response rate. That's not like a positive response.
Yeah.
So basically, you send out 100 cold emails, 2 to 5 people get back,
Yeah.
and they might not even all want the audit. We'll just say 2 to 5 people requested a website audit. And on the phone calls, like you do the 100 people and like 40 people.
Oh yeah, that was like.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Numbers were good.
Once we started cold calling, we're gonna be like seeing people rolling like crazy.
We're going to kickstart a cold calling right when our guy gets us the list of leads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was funny. He gave us the leads in a wrong state.
Yeah, so I requested that he's a guy that he researches leads for you and like the industry you're looking for, and he'll give you names and phone numbers and really targeted information. So instead of us spending the time to just scrape that data ourselves, or instead of us just like calling local companies, that will be like slow and hard to keep track of. We were just going to pay him to scrape us some leads.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he sent the lead list back, and we were looking for Colorado leads, specifically like roofers in Colorado.
Yeah.
And he sent us back roofers in Florida.
Which ain't bad, but we're not
but
working in Florida right now.
And he wanted us to pay for it and then put in another project. And he said, I'll give you the correct leads in that project.
Yeah.
He better if we would do that, but like.
We ordered like 100 targeted leads. And he goes, well, on your next purchase, order 1,000 and I'll give you 1,100 to make up for this one. And I was like, no. I was like, you give us another 100 for the location that we need. And then if they're quality leads, then we'll put in another order for the 1,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's probably
He was like, okay.
Yeah, he was just done with it.
He was like, I will get started on it tomorrow.
Yeah, we looked. It was like 2 a.m. where he was at.
He's like, oh, boy.
And he's the one that contacted you, too, which means he was up at 2 a.m. working. Like, you got to hand it to him. That guy was grinding.
Yeah, he's all the time messaging me. Are you there?
Are you
Are you there?
Yeah.
Right. For
I had so I told him I'd buy it, the first package of 100. And then I didn't have the card, so I had you text me the front and back so I could go through with the payment. And that just took a little bit. And then I went back.
It wasn't long. I got back like right away.
Well, I didn't get to it right away. It probably took like 20-ish minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went back to my computer, and there was like 4 unread messages. Are you there? Are you going to go through? I'm waiting.
No way.
Man, he was desperate. Oh, man. Wait, we could get like whatever we wanted done from him. You just don't respond for a little bit.
That's what I did for my negotiation. I basically told him we want another 100 for our targeted location, and he didn't want to do it. So I just didn't respond to him for a little bit, and I just waited, and he kept on responding, and then he finally came to our side.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, fine. Lost him.
Apparently, he hasn't read the 48 Laws of Power.
Apparently hasn't
Probably not.
Apparently hasn't read about anything.
Which law would cover that one?
I'm thinking it's like in the 30s. Like 33 or something.
What is it?
I forget what the definition is.
What's it about?
It's like law.
Law 33 of the 48 Laws of Power is, I don't think that's it. It's discover each man's thumb screw.
That was his.
Yeah, it's not that
No,
one.
that was his thumb screw.
Not that
You just don't respond and it'll just
His
do
thumb screw was
In
not
a
getting
way,
the
that's
payment.
what it was.
His thumb screw was not getting the payment.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Because the guys on
What that would
Fiverr and
fall
on
under.
Fiverr, you can approve the delivery or not approve it. And he knew I could have not approved it. So if he wanted the payment, he was going to have to come through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's a law about like silence.
There is. I'm trying to think of it.
Law 4
There's
is,
one on patience, I think.
Law 4 is always say less than necessary. Silence can be powerful, and there are several
That's what it would
advantages
be.
to being silent.
Yeah.
Because he said way more than that needed to be said. He just kept digging himself into a hole.
Yeah, are you there?
Or Law
Are you there?
35, master the art of timing and never seem to be in a hurry.
Oh, he was
I
in
was
a
close.
hurry.
I said 33.
Yeah, he was in a hurry and we weren't.
Wait, he did.
Nope.
He did broke both of those. He was saying way more than he needed
He broke
to. And
Law
he was
4
a
and
huge
35.
hurry. Yeah.
Yeah, he broke both of them.
He's breaking all the laws.
No, he probably did read the book, but he thought he was supposed to do the opposite.
If there was a 48
Yeah,
laws.
he read the 48 laws of power and took it as what not to do and do the opposite.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so
If there was a 48 laws of power police, he'd be in prison. He's breaking all the laws.
solitary.
I bet you there's more that he broke.
Oh, yeah.
So that's on the sales side. We're basically kickstarting the cold calling
Yeah.
and then continuing to create more content. And you said the YouTube videos were doing really good.
They're doing good. Our last few videos are hitting like over 500 views, which is not bad for us only having a few subscribers and just launched.
And it's a brand new YouTube channel, too.
Yeah, we just launched it
Mm-hmm.
a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago.
First, when we first started, like every now and then one would pop off and hit
It was
around
rare.
500 views.
But now it's
But now almost every single one's hitting 500.
yeah, now it's
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah. YouTube
Which
loves
is kind
us.
of good and kind of bad. So you know what YouTube does?
Oh,
Yeah.
YouTube kind of has the weird algorithm. Well, where they'll put your channel into what I call like view buckets.
No, I've heard
So
of
like
this
0 to
before,
500. I'm just making up numbers, but like 0 to 500, 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to 5,000. And sometimes you'll get into one of these view buckets and like your videos won't get out of it. They'll always stop it around the same. And that's what
Well, I
our
think-
videos are doing now.
I
If you
think
look
the
at our past few
algorithm is
videos, it's
based-
like 520 views, 570 views,
Yeah.
502 views.
Yeah.
They're exactly at 500.
I think it's based off of the algorithm where it's set like if you get this many likes within this many views within this much time frame, it'll get then pushed out to even more people.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a new criteria. You need this many more likes. Now you need so many more comments. You need so many more views in a certain amount of time before it then gets pushed to an even bigger audience. And that has to happen all within like a certain amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Or then your video just dies.
Instagram just launched a new feature. It's like in beta or it's new, where you can post your video. It can be you can run a test first, and it won't get pushed out to your followers. It will get pushed out to only people who aren't following you to test
Why?
how the reaction is to it. And then say the test is like not good and it's like low engagement and stuff, you can then redo the video and then post to your followers.
What?
That's weird. Oh my. Why not your followers?
Wait, your followers should almost be.
Well,
I mean, like,
if you post a video and your followers don't watch it or engage it, then that's a signal that
Oh, so they're
other
actually
people-
helping you.
That's a signal that other people won't, so they won't push it out. Versus if like you make a video and your followers are engaging with it a lot, that's the first indicator that this might be good to push out.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually what they'll do is they'll push it out to an audience that's not yours, so people who don't know about you, and then do another test. And depending on how they react, then that determines if they go and push it out even farther.
Yeah.
yeah. But that's still weird.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that. That is new.
Wait, now basically all the followers are getting secondhand videos.
Yeah, next time I see a video and it has 1 million views within like 2 seconds of it being posted, I know that it was a test at first.
No, now they're gonna
Maybe.
come out with another feature where the followers can put the person that they're following somewhere where they can watch them as not a follower.
Yeah.
So then they can get the videos that first get posted.
Currently, I think the most aggressive algorithm of any social media is X. The X algorithm is so responsive, it's almost too responsive. If you start engaging with just a few tweets that are similar, it turns your entire timeline into that.
I kind of hate it.
So, for example, I saw a tweet one time, like last year, and it was like of a cool wallpaper for your phone. It was like an account that just posts cool wallpapers of like motorcycles or something.
yeah.
And then I engaged. I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty cool wallpaper," and I downloaded it. Next thing I know, every single tweet on my entire timeline was wallpapers from all kinds of different accounts. And to this day, I still can't get rid of them. They're still there. They're not as much, but they're still there showing me wallpapers all the time. And it's even the same with like other content.
Yeah.
And the only way I was able to get out of it is I had to spend like 10 minutes one day just for every one I saw. I would click on it and say, not interested. Go down, not interested. Go not
You'd think they'd get the hint after like 3 times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of hate it, though. You barely look at something or comment on something, and then your entire feed gets covered in that.
And another thing with X, it's really good for engagement right now to like do threads. So it'd be like, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Here are the 10 things he did to get where he's at. And then each thread is like one of the things.
Oh, he only did 10
now
things.
I can't scroll down my feed without seeing threads hardly.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about those? It says the 10 things that he did. Well, we know he did a lot more than 10 things to get where he's at. But people say it's only 10
There's
things.
only 10 simple steps, and you could be as rich as Elon Musk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and usually it's like these threads, they're terrible.
Yeah, they're random
It just is
things.
like basic stuff. Like, say someone did the 10 things Elon did to get where he's at. One would be read books.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people that read books and they're not his level.
Yeah, I
Invest your
know.
money.
There's people who even read probably more than he does and they're not his level.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those things, it's like invest your money,
In what?
but they never say what.
Yeah, I know.
It's because they don't know what.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It's just like random things. You're like, I already knew these.
You want to be rich? Invest your money.
In what?
That's for you to find out.
Oh,
That loops back to those trainings. They'll go, here, I'm going to show you how to double your income and invest in your money. And in this training, I'm going to show you how doubling your income will invest your money. So what we're going to do is like, what you need to try focusing on is just investing. You want to invest because you'll double your money. And they basically almost like repeat themselves for
They
like
do.
an hour.
Oh, no, they
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
But then a lot of times they'll also have like 2 programs. They'll have the budget one, and then they'll have the premium one. And the budget one, they'll say, is the good starter one. But it'll take you so many months to get to where you need to be. But the premium one, that one,
This is how
you'll
they'll
be
do it.
set like less than half the time.
This is how they do
Yeah.
it. They're like, the first one, it's affordable and easy to get started, but it'll take you a long time to figure it out.
Yeah.
This other one, it's a lot more expensive, but we got to change your mindset. You got to start thinking in terms of time is money.
No.
That's how all big investors
That's the
think.
big sales thing
They
right
go,
now. Time is
you gotta
money.
change your mindset. And they basically make people feel like if they buy the lower one,
Yeah.
their mindset isn't changed and they won't be those types of people who can invest their money.
They're
They're like, well, I have to do this one then.
They play with their people's emotions to make them feel guilty. And then when they have the cheap one, they're like, I didn't really doing what I
And
can.
then when they fail, they're like, I should have bought the most. Let's go buy it.
Ew, no.
I'm going to succeed. I started this. I'm going to finish it. Then
And
they
then-
end up buying both
And then they'll go,
programs.
but if you're not there yet to change your mindset, not everyone is. You can always do the little one to get started. But when you do shift your mindset, you will have wished you bought this one.
Yeah, they almost make you feel bad for buying
Yeah.
a cheap one.
I know.
And you don't
And
even
it's
have to
their-
buy any of them.
And what's crazy is it's their product.
I
yeah.
know.
They're making you feel bad for buying their product.
Yeah. I know. It's
So
really
dumb.
weird. Yeah. Another thing, like for selling is like you tell the person what's the thing that could happen if they don't do it, and then what's the worst thing that could happen if they do it.
Are you saying that's what the marketers do or what Jordan said?
What Jordan said, like for sales, like from the book actually.
Oh, yeah.
what he was
it's
saying.
like contrasting.
Yeah,
Because
because I
using
never,
the contrast principle.
because I never thought about that. And then when he was explaining, I'm like, oh yeah, because it makes it simple now. Now the person can like use their own imagination to.
I used that on somebody recently.
Did it work?
So,
No
we're
way.
still in talks with him.
Oh,
Their
no
average,
way.
their average customer value was like $30,000.
Yeah.
So if they signed a new client, they made $30,000,
Yeah.
and they were basically wondering like, oh, if we buy your services, will it get us new clients and stuff? And I was like, well, here's the deal. Your company is already doing this much a year in revenue. So let's just say, for example, you buy it and nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's not going to ruin your company.
Yeah.
It's only $5K a month. You're making this much a year. It's not going to ruin you.
Yep.
On the flip side, if you do buy it and we do get you clients, which I'm very confident will happen, you are going to bring in this much more new revenue at the minimum.
Yeah.
So the first one, I didn't say this, but like the first one, what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, nothing. They're not going to go under. They're a healthy company.
They're just
going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt them. It's just
Yeah.
going to be something that didn't work.
Yeah.
But if they do buy it and it does work, which it will because we see good results from our clients,
All of our clients have good results.
they're actually going to benefit a lot. And you contrast it like that. You minimize the negative one and you prioritize the good one.
Oh, yeah. Well, I also thought of something. If it wouldn't work, like for the off chance that it wouldn't work and they lost a little bit of the money, could they write that money off that they lost in taxes?
That's an expense either way.
Well, then you could also add that in there, like, and if it doesn't work, you can still write it off.
Even if it does, they can.
Or or then either way.
So
But like,
do you need a write-off this year?
that means there's not even a losing side because you can't lose because the money that would just get wrote off anyway.
But we are pretty good at getting results.
Oh yeah, so that it wouldn't really.
We just sent out reports to clients and saw increases in traffic of like 150%. And that's just comparing to last month.
Yeah.
Last month we saw increases of like 160%. The month before that we saw increases like every month to month so far has been increasing.
What do you think it's total?
Yeah.
now?
I don't know what the total is for the clients. We'd have to calculate that, like the total increase, but
No, for like just like one client.
For like last year total?
Yeah, for like I don't know, randomly like
Let me see.
I don't know.
because it was a lot. It's like a lot. Like and especially for the
Quite a bit.
especially for the little bit of time we've had them and as much as it's the traffic on their site has went up is like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much it was. Yeah, so for bitrate, I'm gonna try to start working it full time.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yay.
that game idea I had, I decided to just keep it a hobby. I'm not really gonna be pushing it anymore.
Why not?
You're not going to do your game?
I am gonna do it. I just decided to move it into a hobby instead. Because
That's what it was before, wasn't it?
yeah, it's kind of started as a hobby, and then I kind of kept it back and forth between work and hobby. So now I'm finally just setting it back into its place into hobby. And like
Does that mean you're going to spend a lot less time in it?
well, that's the thing. I like making like the games and stuff, but the games and stuff got me into like filmmaking in Unreal Engine, which I kind of like that more.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll still be doing lots of like filmmaking and stuff in Unreal Engine. I just won't really be making a game.
If you want to start doing bitrate full time, you should heavily think about being like one of our dedicated cold callers.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought about cold calling, but
because that will really increase your sales
You can call
ability.
my people.
That will really increase your sales ability, and it'll be one of the biggest needle movers in the company.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought about that. I just need to learn, like, practice the scripts we have, and just like prepare myself for it.
Yeah. Pretty much the best preparation is to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the scripts are about finished, so
Oh good. Yeah.
Learn by
we'll be
do.
looking over them and going over them and stuff.
Yeah. The only thing is, the trouble I might have is getting on a phone with a big company, and the company's like, I don't want to do this business with a young kid.
They're not going to... You're on the phones. They might not know it.
Tonality.
The tonality. Yeah, I'll just use that.
You never know if they do know you're young. They'll be like, you know what?
Let's give
This
him
guy's
a shot.
really driven. Let's give him a shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
You can sell so much just based off of your age. I've learned
No.
I've learned that.
Yeah, you just say it.
Someone's like, literally, I had multiple people be like, man, you're this young and you already know this much and you're already that driven. You have a heart for it. Sign me up.
Yeah,
Sign them up to what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The different things.
Oh.
yeah. All they have to do is find out that I'm still in school, and they're like, "You're still in school, and you're trying to sell this. This is
Their
man.
worst case scenario would be this. Well, say we buy it and it doesn't work. At least we helped him out.
Gave a kid a shot.
Gave him some
Yeah.
money for school.
Make him sleep better at night.
And then they
Oh,
mark it off as charity.
You make it look.
Oh, no.
You make it look like they're the ones that are holding my career in their hands. They're like, we got to give them a shot.
They say no, and you're like, but
yeah,
I really need this clothes.
Yeah.
that is making them feel guilty to
Yeah.
buy.
Like, I'm the only provider for my family.
I need food.
You just don't say what kind of food, just a bunch of snacks.
You go
I want to buy
Oreos.
Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, no,
He said he
I
wants
need-
to, he
I
said he
need
wants
Harrison. I need boom booms. I'm
yeah.
addicted.
he said
Oh,
he wants
yeah.
he wants a whole Chick-fil-A restaurant built into his house.
No, I said I wonder if you can like hire Chick-fil-A to like if you were like really rich and you had your own servants and stuff, you could hire Chick-fil-A to have like them have a kitchen in your house, and then
They wouldn't do that. You know why? Because it counters their business model. Do you know how their business model works? So Chick-fil-A is one of the few or the only fast food franchise who they own the land for each location.
I'll sell them the land.
this
in
is
my
how they do it.
house.
Someone wants to put up a new Chick-fil-A location. One, they've been vetted. They had to go through like 2 years of training. They had to work for a Chick-fil-A for like 5 years.
Yep.
Oh, my.
And only then, most people don't even get in. They then hand
It's like
select.
Navy SEAL
Uh-huh.
training.
Yeah,
almost.
And
for restaurants.
someone wants to put in a new location. Chick-fil-A will buy the land, build the location, and then they split the profits between corporate and the person who runs it. And the split is way higher than average compared to like franchises or something.
Yeah.
I think I have that right. Because they're making money off of the land as it increases in value. So they're not
Yeah.
only making money from the store,
Which is smart.
they're making money on the land.
Well,
so
what
like
about in
we had
these
a new
malls?
Chick-fil-A come in here in Loveland where a whole bunch of stuff is coming in.
Yeah.
They came in early and their location is there. As that area continues to be built up, that land's just going to get more and more
yeah.
and more valuable.
Now it's like,
But what about in these malls? Like the little food sections?
do they have Chick-fil-A?
There's Chick-fil-A's usually in there.
Well,
Sometimes.
they wouldn't own that, but
So they do
They
make
own
exceptions. They
What?
make exceptions. So there would be a chance.
I mean,
for
I
my-
don't think you can buy those spots. Maybe you can. I don't know.
So there'd be a chance for my beloved.
It's like buying a condo. You're in one big building, but you own like a room of it.
It's yours, but it's not yours.
Oh, that's might be what it is. They can buy it, and then that part goes up in value.
Yeah.
maybe.
One thing though, because we mentioned it, those things like you buy a condo or an apartment, like where you buy it, you don't rent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one thing I never thought of about that. If the unit next door, something happens, like they're dirty and not taking care of things, and mold happens and it starts seeping into your place, it's now your expense.
Well, no,
It's theirs because they caused it.
would be their
It's
expense.
No.
like fire damage too.
No, because it's now in your place.
But they're the ones that
No,
caused
I
it.
talked to someone about that who like manages these places.
Yeah.
They manage the HOAs for those type of places, and they said, yeah, it's your problem.
But-
so there's special types of like insurance you can get or something that help protect it.
Your problem for your side?
Yeah, because it's your house. You bought it. You're not renting or anything. So
No.
your place has mold.
You have to deal with it.
It's not dependent on if the next place is the one that started it.
No, you have to deal with.
Because you don't have a contract in place. They're a homeowner. They're an owner for their side. You're an owner for your side.
No, you have to handle
And they
it.
dirtied their side, which affected your
No,
side.
you have. They're saying.
Well, I mean,
they're
you
saying
could maybe sue. I don't know, but
I
that's the only
would.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. They're saying you have to handle it yourself. They won't, but then you can go to the person and have them
I'd
pay
hand-
for it.
Well, yeah, you can go to the person and try to convince them to pay
Yeah,
for it,
like
but they
you
probably
get them
won't.
to pay. Well, then you sue them, depending on how bad the damages are. and if
I'd
they're not
handle it
wanting
and
to
then
do
take
it.
them to court and hand them the bill.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd win that though.
I feel like you could.
It's just like if you have two houses and one person's garbage and stuff, and all their stuff is overflowing into your yard. It's like, and they're like, or like
I don't
if they
know.
have- Well, like, how is that if somebody in a neighborhood has a house fire and it spreads to other houses? They're paying for the other houses. Unless it, if it was their fault, they'd be paying for it.
Yeah.
I guess.
So yeah, that was a quick overview on the book
Mm-hmm.
and business in
And
2025.
2025.
We're
I can't
still,
believe it's 2025.
yeah, we're still getting guests on in February. We have our first one booked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the, let me check. It's actually going to be our first guest. Well, I don't know if we'll publish this one as the first guest episode, but he's the first one we're having on as a guest. Who knows when it will actually go live.
Yeah.
But the first guest that we're recording is Garrett.
Yeah.
He's our content writer for Bitrate, and he's a
Mm-hmm.
digital nomad. So he basically he just makes money online and he travels all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Last time he said he was in
The
let's see.
Philippines.
Yeah, probably the Philippines, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Philippines, so he just makes money online and travels everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
So we're basically just going to talk to him like how that works, how he gets projects, where he gets projects from, how it is traveling as a digital nomad and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we already have other guests lined up to get on the show for later in February.
Oh, yeah.
But if anyone has a person you want to see on the show, just comment below.